I'm Paige Hayhurst, Executive Director of the Virginia Living Museum, with a wonderful, dedicated staff member, George Mathews, Curatorial Director. Thanks for agreeing to do this, George. You've been a Curatorial Director for 22 years, and you've seen a lot of changes since that time, and we're here at the Red Wolf exhibit. That's a big change. Tell me a little bit about that.
About 9 years ago, we were able to get the red wolves here at the Living Museum, and they were part of the SSP program, the Species Survival Plan, and basically allows us to have an endangered species owned by the federal government. And over the last 9 years, we've had breeding here. We've had wolves that have been sent down to North Carolina and sent to other zoos around the country. So we're really active members of the SSP program for the highly endangered red wolf.
And that's through AZA.
Exactly. Right.
And that's one of the other big changes you've seen is our accreditation with AZA. I know you and your staff had to work many hours to make that happen. That is a proud achievement.
Exactly. AZA was something we've been talking about for a long time, and it took us, I guess, about 5 years to get everything developed and all the research and all the consulting and people coming in and helping us out with that. So it's really kind of icing on the cake over the years to be an AZA accredited institution.
So red wolves are one of hundreds of animals and plants that we care for, everyday species. So tell me a little bit about the collection, what makes it special.
Well, our collection, we have a couple hundred species and actually a couple thousand animals if you count everything we have. And it's neat because we don't have rhinos or zebras. We have otters and sea turtles and sharks and seahorses, things that people don't even think about being found in Virginia. So it's kind of like walking through the state of Virginia from the mountains to the sea and just checking out all the different things you might see in a lifetime. You can see in about 3 hours here at the Living Museum.
You can't be collecting animals from rehabbers and for other injured and orphaned animals without having some terrific stories. So tell me about some of your favorites.
Yeah, over the years we've gotten animals in a lot of different ways. One of our river otters we got from a lady who raised it as a pet in her home. She pulled it around on a leash and it swam in a bathtub and was kind of a member of the family until one day it bit one of the members of the family and they had to get rid of the animal. Gave it to us, and this animal was so imprinted on people that when it took its first swim out in the otter pool, it had never been anything other than a kiddie pool, so I actually got to get in there and splash around with it and kind of help it to swim in deep water, which is kind of neat. That was
so does it follow you around and think you're its daddy?
It did for a while until it became mature and met a female.
Okay.
So it's kind of moved on like most teenagers will.
I see. You have staff members that care for every type of animal we have. Tell a little bit about the variety and the expertise of staff.
Well, we have several curators: aquarium curator, herpetology, general curator, and horticulture. And we have people on staff, along with our vet coordinator, who take care of the animals. We have a marine scientist on board that takes care of the aquariums and the sea turtle. So we have a great group of people, about 24 people right now. When I came on board back in the 70s, we had about 8 staff, and now by myself I supervise about 24 people, and I know the museum staff is around 100.
And you've had a lot of jobs in your time at the museum. Tell
Yes.
me a little bit about the different positions you've held.
Yes, everything from weekend manager to aquarist to aquarium curator, educator, assistant curatorial director. So quite a few jobs and quite a few things have changed over the years, and all for the better.
And the facilities too. I mean, we've expanded 4 times the size of when you had originally started with the museum.
Yeah, back when we were the little Peninsula Nature and Science Center, we had no animals on the trail at all, just basically a boardwalk, not even a boardwalk, but a trail you just walk along, kind of look at what's in the woods.
And the interior exhibits must have been a huge change when we opened the new building in 2005. You had a lot to do with helping to create some of those animal exhibits.
Yeah, we tried to take the exhibits in the original building and make them a little bit bigger, a little bit better, more visitor-friendly, and more natural for the animals. So it was a great combination. I think a great success story.
And do you have a favorite animal here in the collection? Are you allowed to play favorites?
Well, I do like the woodchuck, because he's an animal that we rescued that had an ear infection a few years ago and was too friendly to be released. And we use him for Groundhog Day, and we take him out for special programs and special tours, and I guess he probably would be my favorite animal, but don't tell him.
I won't, and I especially won't tell him. He'll get all ego.
Yeah, he already has he's already got a big head already.
And wishes for the future for the animal collection?
Of course, I've always thought about a bear exhibit, because it's one of the things that we always like to do, and extend the trail and have a bear exhibit out here along the outdoor trail.
And these are black bears.
Exactly, black bears, yes.
Great. Well, you are a legend, George, and I hope you're here for another 30 years.
Okay, well, thank you. I hope I make it.
Thanks for all you do for the museum.
Appreciate it.